This video is all about another innovation brought to you by the Sony a7R V. Details coming up, but first, I encourage you to subscribe and choose all notifications so you're kept informed on the latest camera gear, news, and rumors. Sony Alpha Rumors says that the a7R V will have a more advanced pixel shift shooting software and concludes by saying, "I don't know if it can be used handheld." Pixel shift is a rather new technology, allowing you to get a much more higher resolution image than you could with a standard sensor in your camera. So for the Sony a7R V, a 61 megapixel sensor could theoretically produce 4 times that size. So 6 times 4 is 24, 240 megapixels. However, there are some challenges, and to be able to shoot handheld, I really don't think that's going to be possible, even with whatever advances Sony has made with the a7R V. Lenscraft.co.uk sums up things very well. The theory is great, but there are practical problems. Because it takes time to shift the sensor around and then shoot each frame, there's a slight delay between each shot. This means that if there's anything moving in the frame, it will be in a different position in each shot. When the camera comes to merge the images, you'll see the moving object in multiple positions. Because this creates a kind of repeating pattern that's unnatural, our brains immediately pick it up. So grass, leaves, any sort of slight movement there will be picked up. It's very rare to find a day where things aren't moving in any way whatsoever. You're not seeing any movements in grass or trees. Now, if you're shooting zoomed in at, say, 50 or 100 millimeters, you might be lucky. But as you move out to 35 millimeters or 20 millimeters, what happens is you are never going to have a completely still air. There's going to be slight microcurrents in the air, and the leaves are going to move a little bit. The grass is going to move a little bit. And what that ends up doing is creating those micro movements. And because you're shooting at such a high resolution of 240 megapixels, once they're all merged together, you're going to be able to see those slight movements. You're not going to have to pixel peep to notice it. And the other problem is micro vibrations. Even the ground you're standing on, if you're not standing, let's say, in California or other places that are tectonically active, you still receive micro vibrations coming from the ground. You also get micro vibrations from cars going by or people walking. Just a couple of months ago, I was out shooting the moon. Instead of bringing my 504X with aluminum tripod, a Manfrotto tripod, I brought the 502 out. I think it's the AH version. It's about a third the price, but I thought it would be more than sufficient for shooting the moon. So first I pull manual focus, I tilt the lens. I was using the RF 100 to 500 millimeter, and I aimed it at the moon, and I set it to manual mode, and I started ever so slightly adjusting it. Well, I couldn't do it. There were so many micro vibrations coming from the tripod. The tripod wasn't able to completely isolate those movements, so it was a real challenge to get the moon in focus. Whereas the 502, it was really shaking. And another thing I noticed too is, even though I'm about 30 feet away from the roadway, when cars were going by with the 502, you would see the micro vibrations being picked up. Having a really good tripod makes a difference. Having a really good camera with a really good IBIS system makes a difference. Having foliage or objects within the foreground that aren't moving around makes a huge difference. Yes, you want to have a really good IBIS system. You want to have a very, very, very fast sensor, processor, and of course storage. So you want to get that data, capture it very quickly, and move it off. And the problem with pixel shift is it takes one photo, adjusts, takes another, adjusts, takes another, adjusts, takes another. So you take 4 photos with micro adjustments, and the quicker it can do that, the less chance you're going to have of any movements. And if you think of any scenarios where you do want to use pixel shift technology, what scenarios would you have where you wouldn't have any movements in any way whatsoever? Sure, there are some scenes where you're shooting food or product photography where you could definitely do that. But any sort of fashion photography where you got people in the mix, no, definitely not going to happen. And if you're shooting landscapes, I think I've covered off all the challenges there. Any sort of foliage, any grass movement is going to be picked up. Cloud movement is going to be picked up. Birds, insects, other animals in the frame, including humans. Any of those, well, it's going to be picked up. Your best scene for shooting pixel shift technology would be the desert of California, where you've got rocks and not much else on a sunny day without any clouds. But again, even then, you need a really good tripod to avoid or to filter out all those micro vibrations, and of course a really good IBIS system, which, according to Sony Alpha Rumors, the a7R V definitely has. So is this a gimmick? No, I don't really think this is a gimmick. When it first came out, I kind of accused it as being a gimmick, but many people have taken to this technology and are eager eager for improvements. And I think what we're going to see with the Sony a7R V is improvements to how pixel shift technology works. I don't know what those improvements are going to be, but the fundamental challenge of taking 4 shots and making micro adjustments along the way without anything in the scene moving, that is a big challenge. And if they've somehow overcome that, that's a truly big deal. So what do you think Sony might have done to their pixel shift technology in the a7R V to make it more successful than other vendors such as the Panasonic Lumix S1R? Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. And if you want to stay up to date on the latest camera news and rumors, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, followed by clicking on all notifications. By choosing all notifications, as soon as I publish a new video like this one here, you'll get notified by YouTube so you can stay up to date on the latest camera news and rumors. So that way you don't have to spend all your time constantly checking Twitter feeds, RSS feeds, all your favorite websites and YouTube channels. When you're getting ready for an announcement, all you have to do is subscribe and choose all notifications, and then that way you can get all your news right here at The Ordinary Filmmaker. But one last thing before I go. I don't know what's going on with the world today, but yeah, I am getting so many comments about this jacket that I'm wearing. And I don't get it. This is a camera channel. I talk about camera news and rumors. It's not a fashion channel. And seeing that 97.5% to 98% of this channel is men, and majority of men really couldn't care less what other men wear. I don't know where this is coming from. I wear this jacket. I'm going to keep wearing it until I choose not to wear it. And yeah, that's it. Now, if you like Sony, if you like Panasonic or Nikon or any other camera company, and you'd like me to see me wearing a jacket other than this Canon EOS R system jacket, then send me a jacket and I'll wear that too. But I wear this one because it's light, it's not hot. So even down here in the studio where the temperature ranges between 60 and 70 degrees, I find that I'm comfortable in this jacket all year round. So I'm going to keep wearing it until I'm tired of wearing it. So please stop with the comments on the jacket. Who really cares? I want to know what your comments are on the Sony a7R V. I want to know your comments in other cameras. And of course, I want to know your comments on how I'm doing delivering the news. If you want to see me cover off other topics. Sometimes when I get speaking, I can get tongue-tied and on the same thing. I think I've repeated some things as much as 15 times or more. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it can be really frustrating. It's like each time I try to say it again, it's like I'm training my brain to say it the wrong way. And if you've ever been in front of a camera for television, movies, or just a YouTube channel or corporate videos, you probably know what I'm talking about. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.